Well, hello everyone. My name is Zachary O'Shea, and this is Box of Teeth. I don't just do horror role-playing content, I do also have horror fiction that I write that includes Psychopomps right here. It comes out this Friday. I want to give you a taste of it right now. Psychopomps itself is the second book in the Crimson Thread series. The first one is Grease Paint right there. This is a ghost story, a science horror story, a dark fantasy, and a lot more all in one book. Whereas Grease Paint, Killer Clown, some dark fantasy for sure, and they both have twists and turns. They happen in the same world, but they don't always have the same characters. And let me go ahead and read an excerpt from you right here, which comes from Chapter 5, The Tunnel. Dr. Crawford recoiled as the usual musty stench rolled over him. It wasn't quite sewage, but closer to a stagnant canal in July. He didn't know why the noisome tunnel never stuck to his boots or clothing. There wasn't anything rotting down there. He steeled himself and descended on the rusty rungs, making sure to close the trapdoor behind him. It wasn't long before his boots splashed in the brackish, noxious water. He groped for the old-fashioned breaker and pulled it. Sparks danced along his forearm. Once, he feared being electrocuted, but that hadn't happened yet. Bare bulbs sluggishly lit the rough-hewn tunnel. Darkness still suckled along the walls of the old shaft in asymmetrical passages that pulsed as if the building itself were breathing. Dr. Crawford steeled himself and carefully picked his way forward. Submerged in the groundwater and pungent mud, corroded cart rails waited like hunting vipers to snag and twist his ankles like so much unassuming prey. Every last object in the tunnel held a sinister aura to it, if Dr. Crawford believed in such things. He told himself he didn't. Clammy sweat broke out across the physician's body. It always did, no matter how many times he made this walk. Dr. Crawford shivered in an inexplicable cold spot, but forged forward until it ebbed. Here, in the dank bowels of the earth, he never felt alone or safe. Booker said the heart's ground suffered a spiritual poisoning so absolute it would never fade. Dr. Crawford's theory held that the lingering bioelectric fields of the dying above had seeped down, pooled, and concentrated in this passageway. It served as a reservoir of sorts for the resident hot spots throughout the area. Why? He didn't know. Yet. He knew for certain that he loathed this passageway. His minions deemed it haunted, just like the heart. As a scientist, he knew better. It was nothing more than leaked energy, like a failing transformer charging the metal nearby. The dead were dead and gone. Only traces of their electricity remained. Still, the sooner he got out, the better. Upon reaching the other side, Dr. Crawford tapped the corroded cart. Why someone left a relic down here was anyone's guess. He was grateful for it, though, as it still worked well enough to transport receivers back and forth between the old heart and the new one as needed. His spine straightened. The hairs on the back of his neck stood up. Was there someone whispering in the tunnel? He leaned against the cart's edge and slowly looked back down the hallway. Ripples burst from his footsteps, still beating against the earthen walls. The bare bulbs flickered for a moment before steadying. The shrink was alone. He didn't feel alone. Get a grip, Dr. Crawford told himself. He spent a few more moments scrutinizing the shadows, but came up wanting. While he was a firmly rational man, grounded in science, Dr. Crawford had met something that had made him afraid of the dark. Yet, that something wasn't present. At least, he prayed it wasn't. All right, there is just another little taste of Psychopomps. There are a couple more from earlier this week, and we might have a couple more by the end of the week, schedule permitting. Again, this is Book 2. Book 1 is already available. This comes out on Friday. You can go to www.zacharyoshea.com and link over from there. It's over on Amazon in paperback and in Kindle. I'd love if you went and pre-ordered it. As always, thank you for your time and your attention, and have a wonderful day.